Hello. I am Mad Mumzie. Sorry, I'm just moving this out the way here so that I can do what I need to do. I am Mad Mumzie, host of Beers with a Minor podcast, and I am going to record a podcast episode. But the exciting thing is, this is the first one that I am putting out as a video for YouTube with their video podcasting. Now, there's one issue. My beer's empty. Since it's called Beers with a Minor, best I fill it up. Because I'm posh, right? In case you didn't know me and this is your first of any of the podcast episodes, this is actually episode 97. So where you been, right? You're missing out. But seriously, I'm excited to record this, and it's a new venture moving forward. It's giving me a little bit more enthusiasm, I must say. And I did take about, I won't say 100, I'll say 100, but it wasn't, tests to try and turn on the lights and get the glare away and all of that. Because I got glasses, but I think that's even worse. So anyway, I'm just going to get on. And this episode is an audio blog where it's just you and me. I recently went on a holiday to Adelaide because I am from put my beard down. I am from South Australia. You can tell by the accent, all right? A lot of people think I'm from England, but it's just South Australia. That's where all the Poms went to live. So, and I know my family will say, "You've really got your pommy on now." There's times where I really get it on, and I even notice it myself. However, I wasn't going to talk about that, but that's pretty random. So, yes, my sister, fellow steel cap sister, we have another podcast called What Boots together, and she's over in Western Australia. So our dad lives in Adelaide and she flies in from west of Australia. I fly in from here. I'm in central Queensland on the coast, and we meet. We have a night at Glenelg Beach, right on the jetty, big Ferris wheel, and it's so good. Look, I've got my shirt on. For those of you watching on video, if you're not watching on video, head to Mad Mumzie, Mumzie, on YouTube. Look for the one with the bright pink hard hat and plaits. There's another one there with a halo, like a slipped halo. That was my original channel, and it's Mad Mumzie with a few numbers after it. For some reason, YouTube did a thing and I haven't undone the thing yet, but I will work on that. But you'll find me anyway if you want to have a look. You can also see it in the show notes. I'll probably, once the video's done, put it on the show notes, the YouTube video, I think. This is so new. So it's madmumzie.com/beers97, because this is episode 97 and this is an audio blog version. It's not a happy hour where I interview someone. This is an audio blog where it's just you and me. And this time I have a blog post that I wrote whilst travelling on my holiday. And it started before I left, and it gave me some surprising people watching moments, and a lot of the people I was watching were minors. And so this post is about how some of us interact with those around us and how we can become a bit complacent, really, with how we're treating people. But it's a bit fun along the way, of course. Mad Mumzie, it's never boring, right? And for my regular listeners, you probably have noticed, maybe you haven't, maybe you're having a life as well. I haven't recorded a podcast for a while. And in the new year, reflecting, I officially, you'll hear more about this in the next episode 98, where I have a bit more of a say. It's a bit emotional, actually. I recorded it yesterday, but I've got to, edit it and that. And I've got to get this one out first. So, how Mad Mumzie is going to move forward, right? So, make sure you're subscribed so you don't miss out on the podcast wherever you listen, and also on YouTube. Hit the bell, like and comment, share with your friends, all of the things that all the YouTubers say. So I realised while I was away, over that time I gave myself a break. I've been hanging out with my fish again because that's my passion. I don't have dogs or cats or chickens. So I got back into my fish tanks and set up a pond. I've been gardening. I've been decluttering big time, binging YouTube decluttering people. And some of them are pretty cool. And I guess they've inspired me for this YouTube moment as well, now that I'm talking about it. So I have just been doing that sort of thing, and there's a lot going on with the moon and the stars and eclipses and all of that, which woo woo moment. That's how I roll, though. You know me. So while I was away, I started writing, and I realised by the time I was on that last plane trip on the way home, editing what I'd written on my phone with my little, I'll get it, hang on. My little Bluetooth keyboard and a phone stand on the plane, and I could type away. Typing is one of my favourite things in the world to do. That and digging drains for all the water to run away. Crazy woman. So I realised how much I love to write, and I haven't done that for such a long time, and that's how Mad Mumzie actually got started. So I decided that I'm going to put my blog posts back up on the website, like new ones, and on YouTube you can do a post as well, like just writing. I never knew that. So I'll do that, and this episode that I'm going to record to you is basically what I wrote. And I have done these in the past. If you have listened, if you haven't, go back, look for the audio blogs. They're either me just having a rant or, a bit of a musing, or they are me, especially the early ones, recording a post that I had put in Shift Minor, which was a magazine here. They're online now, but since they got online, they didn't want Mad Mumzie anymore. Never mind. I just do it as a podcast now. However, and I don't take anything away from at all from Shift Minor not wanting to have me as a contributor, because they gave me a great start and I learned so much. And I have spoken about them on the podcast as well. Thank you, Angie. Always love you. I did learn a lot, and they helped me to be brave, and that's how I started podcasting. So that's what this episode is. So if I might shut up and get on with it. I will warn you, however. You ready? Hang on, I'm going to drink to tell you this. It's important. It's not really, I just needed a drink. A beer in my wine glass because I'm posh. I will warn you that I tend to go off the blog post, so it'll be me reading with my little bit more posh pommy accent. Generally, I've listened to a practice run that I did, and I haven't read it all, so this will be interesting. And I was like, oh, look at you sound so posh. Not even posh. I'm going to take my shoes off. That makes me less posh. And And then I think of things, and so I say a bit more. And I digress, which is a bit funny. So, and I do have a couple of stories that I've written in. So let's see how it goes. I'd love to hear what you think. Let me know on all the socials at Mad Mumzie or the real Mad Mumzie on TikTok. I think I am. All right. You ready? Let's go. I'm going to read to you. That sounded creepy. Hang on, I'm about to read to you. I'm giving myself a little bit of a heads up. Now, forget about the grammar bits, because when I was reading this the other day, I stopped and fixed a couple of things. It won't be perfect. And I'm not editing this because it's a video on YouTube. So this is the new Mad Mumzie. Hang on. Here we go. Sorry, I'm trying not to be like my reading voice. Just get on with it. I'm on my way to meet my steel cap sister and real sister in Adelaide for our yearly What Boots podcast and family catch-up trip. She heads in from west of Oz and I come down from northeast Queensland. My first flight was leaving at Sparrow Fart, so my boss said it was a no-brainer to stay the night before, close to the airport. Yay, he shouted too. For the motel room, that is. I would like to stay at the Ibis, which is got a great bar. It's at the airport. Great bar, underneath, walk across the road and you're in. But they were fully booked. So we found another airport and yay, he shouted. What a great boss, right? That's why I'm still there. And it was a Tuesday night, but nearly every motel close to the airport was fully booked. And most places said it's always like that during the week. I guess that's a good sign that mining is still booming here in the central Queensland region, right? My first choice of the place at the actual airport was a no-go, which was the Ibis, because I did just add that bit in. But I ended up finding somewhere a bit nice and not far away for the early morning trek. After figuring out how to book a cab, it has been a while, that's for sure, for 4:45 a.m. and doing my online check-in for the 2 flights required to get to Adelaide, I went and hung out by the pool, having a beer and enjoying the waterfall. It was a gloomy, drizzly old wet day, but I was on holidays and I was happy as. I like these kind of boots. Around 6 in the evening, I headed to the restaurant/bar area for my dinner reservation. When I booked into reception, I had 3 options. That's the reception of the motel, right? When I booked into reception, I had 3 options for dinner. 6, 6:30 or 7 p.m. Oh, quite a system they have going on here, I thought. I stopped at the entrance of the restaurant and was asked in a rather stern way, "Do you have a booking? What time?" 6:30. Actually, 6 it was, I think, because I wanted to get on early because I had to get up early. Hang on, I'll have a drink since I digressed. Cheers. Hey, psst, sorry to interrupt, but did you know that Mad Mumzie has an online mining portal? This episode is proudly brought to you by mining.teachable.com, the place to go for all of Mad Mumzie's resources and support for your mining journey, no matter where you are. It's free to sign up. You just pop your email in there and away you go. Whether you are one of my lovely wannabe miners, you're just desperate to get that mining job and you don't know where to start, I got your back. Have you heard that saying, what's under the kimono? It's quite a famous saying. I say, what's under the high-vis shirt, at the risk of making it look like I'm flashing you. But I'm going to start saying it anyway because I don't care. I am me, and you either like me or you don't. If you don't, okay, off you go. There's plenty of others coming out doing stuff. Back to mining.teachable.com. Mad Mumzie, this is meant to be an advert. Head over there for a real-life, down-to-earth look at what mining can be like for you. I am passionate about helping people know more about what it's like in mining and to be there for support once they actually get started, because that's when the fear can really kick in and you need a support network around you. So mining.teachable.com. I'm a little bit excited actually to be back and to be on YouTube. That's weird. Okay. I was shown my table and told to take a seat. I spotted the bar, so, me being me, I went there first and got my own drink. Maybe that's what put the lady offside. It was table service, I found out after. She was the one who had checked me in at reception when I was just excited to be on holidays and couldn't get my card working and I didn't know where to put my beers. I think I frustrated her from the get-go. After taking a seat and ordering the garlic prawns, they'd be good to fight off the plane germs, I thought, I began to notice a few guys coming in for dinner. There were a couple at the bar watching the news. I couldn't get the TV to work in my room, only YouTube, so I watched underwater meditation music with lovely whales and dolphins and turtles and bright-coloured Nemo fish. I was on holidays anyway, so who needs the news, right? Lighten up. A few young fellas came in and ordered their tea and just had a water. Oh, good on them, I thought, as I ordered my next beer. Clearly there were a lot of people in town of varying ages, and I was thinking some have probably been at inductions, some are working out on site, some are flying out tomorrow probably like me, or who might even be on my plane. There were all sorts of people. They were all men, and they were, I think, all mining related and having chats. And there was someone there who they were definitely an electrician in the mines, and they were trying to educate a young fella about what had happened today. Not that I was earwigging or anything. It was good to be back in the presence of miners in a different way, like this, like travelling miners, I mean. Then this one guy came in. He walked straight past the wait to be seated area and he sat down. The lady, she came marching over to him and said, if you're watching on YouTube, I'm marching. You're a dickhead. Oh, I didn't see you come in. We have a system, you know. To which he replied, I didn't see the sign. I nearly spat my beer out. Oh, all I could hear was my sister singing, sign, sign, everywhere a sign. Okay, don't judge me on my singing, right? It is common knowledge that we can become oblivious to signage and directions when they are everywhere. Some people, however, are just ignorant and do what they want. Anyway, I'll have a drink rather than go into that. Oh, as a side note, when we were walking into a pub when we were on holidays, I saw one of the best signs ever. It said, and I will add this picture into the video, so you have to find the video just for this picture. It said, I'm pretty sure it was Glenelg, This is a sign to head straight to the bar. I thought of this guy who didn't see the sign, apparently. I bet he would have seen this bloody sign, right? Oh, it was so funny. I'm like, oh, look at that sign. My sister thought it was funny too. My judgy Oh, okay. So, back to the reading, Mumsy. My judgy human boots thought of this person. Those boots stayed on for a while too as I sat there people watching, especially the lady in charge of this dining area. So I'm back in the motel now, right? I'm people watching at the motel because it reads well, but when you interrupt it, it's like, what are we talking about now? She also seemed to be not very nice towards me. What have I done wrong, I thought. I'm being nice and happy and grateful. Not like most of these other humans in here. Dare I say miners. When you live the mining life and are always in and out of camps, mess rooms, meetings and travelling, we can become a tad... What words? Complacent, rude, ignorant, blasé, disengaged, zoned out, same old routine, blinders on. And we don't even notice the humans around you, the humans who are actually looking after you and making everything happen. As a side note, whilst on holidays, we visited our dad, who has early stages of dementia, but is progressing faster than we thought, hence our need for more frequent visits. Our first meet-up, he proudly announced that he is not drinking anymore. He had made a huge decision. Oh, we were so proud of him and supportive, also knowing he has not had a drink for a couple of years now. We went directly to a pub after that for lunch, a tradition to go to the same place each time we visit. It's actually called the Anglers Inn in Wallaroo, I think, and you get the biggest feeds. They are amazing. I'll add photos into this video. Once there, he said he wanted a beer. We get him a Great Northern Zero. It's not zero carbs, it's zero alcohol. And I have a Great Northern Super Crisp because I can't get my beer, my Carlton mid-strength beer in most places. But I can in Dad's little town, which is good, but not in this one. So I have a Great Northern Super Crisp in a stubby, and we make sure that we get a stubby cooler and that he gets the right one. Because they look the same, right? We're both having a beer. He sure knows if we are drinking something different. Anyhow, he proudly announced he was in fact going to have a beer. And this is the main reason I put this in, because this is the new saying in our family, in mine and my sister's. Giving up did not suit, so he was disengaging from that decision. It was gold, as there we were, standing in a front bar of a regional South Australian pub, laughing at his decision to stop drinking only lasted an hour and a half, and as he stood there, unknowingly having a zero alcohol beer. That saying has stayed with us, and as I am editing this and wrote the words disengaged, it reminded me of this precious moment of my daddy. The disengaged was about how we can become when we're in the mines. And that decision didn't suit, so we disengaged. Like, that's gold, right? Cheers to you, Daddy. I'm having a Great Northern Zero. Alcohol. Beer in a wine glass. It was also funny. It was so funny that when we went back to our hotel, our cabin on the beach, opened the door. I'm like, you're going to have, oh shit, we haven't got his zeros here. And he's looking at, he's like, there's plenty in there. I'm like, oh yeah, and they were my Carlton mid-strength. He wasn't allowed to have them. And I had to think on my feet. I said, look, the boss, which is his wife, and my sister, the other guy, he calls us the guys, they were getting his beer. I said, oh, I'll be in trouble from the boss if you have one of those. He's like, wasn't happy. But he was all right. He waited. I did message them and say, hurry up. So anyway, back to the motel. And that was a precious memory of my daddy, and also about, you know, the disengaging of the people around you. So I'm at the restaurant, right? I haven't even got on a plane yet. There's not much about the plane, I don't think, in this article. Once I decided it was time to go, I head to the area where the boss lady was taking payments or making sure the meal was booked to the right room. I thought this was my time to cheer her up a bit. That's how I roll, but she instantly directed me over to pay at the bar. Now, if she was busy doing other things, I could understand that. However, I chose at the time to believe she just saw an old hippie booze hag, old hippie booze hag, and had no time for me. Geez, I can beat myself up at times, but I'm working on that. Then a bit of a ruckus happened. Oh, well, here we go. Long story, but it seems someone had ordered room service a while ago and it hadn't arrived as yet. The backpacker at the bar was adamant she had sent the order through to the chef, but he had not received it. Turned out that she had not followed the procedure correctly, and the boss lady was not impressed. As I paid for my roadie, jeez, I'd hate to get to my room and not have enough beers. I thanked the lovely young backpacker and said, hang in there, mate, you're doing a great job. She gave me a big smile. At least I made a difference somewhere tonight. I was walking out of the restaurant and looking at their amazing fish tank. But where were the fish? There were no Nemos in here, I was thinking. You know me, I'm into my fish, right? It was then that I saw the boss lady in another area waving a bit of cardboard it's hard to say. Profusely. No, it's not. Profusely at her face. She was clearly hot. Was she having a hot flush? Maybe, maybe not. Don't be too judgy. But that did explain a lot of things. Perhaps menopause. Seeing that, I instantly changed my judgy boots to sympathy boots. We never know what someone is going through. Think of this when you're out at work and dealing with your crew, the humans who look after you and even your family. What about yourself? We can reserve our judgiest boots as we beat ourselves up over yesterday's choices, broken promises, and chores not done that our tomorrow self has to deal with, or all the things we shoulda, coulda, woulda done towards finally creating our dreams and goals. We're all humans just trying to do our best in this world. So, let's lighten the fuck up and have some fun. I'm talking to myself now. I'm on holidays. Time for a beer. It's 5 o'clock somewhere after all. Okay, so now I am having a beer because I told myself that on a plane about 2 weeks ago. But it wasn't my favourite beer. And it sure as hell wasn't in a wine glass. Thanks so much for listening. Like I said at the start, I have news to share in my next episode, episode 98. So please make sure you subscribe to both the podcast and also on the YouTube channel. Right? Hit the notifications, ding the dong. So that you get notified when I put out a new thing. I'm going to do a few shorts and weird shit. Why not? Because it's time to lighten the fuck up and just get on and be myself. Be yourself, right? Head to Mumzie, mumzie.com/beers97. I wrote 96. I'm not going to change that right now. Beers 97, whatever this episode number is, I'm sure it's 97. Head to madmumzie.com/beers97 for all the links mentioned in this episode and to find out more about how to get into mining, right? Because that's what I like to do and that's why I do what I do, so that people know more about mining life. And this episode, hopefully, helped you to see and be aware when you do go out there to really respect the other people that are out there as well. All of us. We're all just, hanging out, doing our shit. So respect each other. Have a bit of a smile. Say thank you. Read the fucking sign. That was a good ending. I'm going to leave it at that. Thank you so much. Go to YouTube. Find Mad Mumzie with the pink hard hat. Mumzie. And until next time, stay safe, be real, be special, and have fun. Cheers. And now it's a video. I can actually do a cheers. Okay, thank you. Love you, see you, bye. Love to hear what you think if you watch this on YouTube. Be gentle with the comments. I'll just, I'm tough. I can handle it. Soon find that out. It's all right. You're all right. You're all right. You're okay. All right. Cheers, guys. Stay safe, be real, be special, and have fun. For we only live once. Cheers.